The inauguration is going to happen. They're going to get it together because nobody within the MAGA movement, nobody within the Republican Party wants to cross Donald Trump so much as to bruise his ego as the only president who wasn't able to be inaugurated and celebrated at an inaugural ceremony. That's not, do you think that's going to happen? Do you think Donald Trump is going to allow his weak-minded insecurities be even more bolstered by allowing this to happen? My guess would be no. Lawmakers don't need to finish the certification on that day, but the process has to wrap up by noon on January 20th when the Constitution says the outgoing president's term ends.
As Donald Trump's inauguration approaches, the nation finds itself at a critical juncture. On one hand, there's the grandeur and significance of the event itself, meant to symbolize the peaceful transfer, or in this case, continuation, of power. On the other, a mixture of logistical challenges, political boycotts, and intra-party conflicts threatens to derail the proceedings. Despite these hurdles, Trump's supporters remain steadfast, viewing the event as a vital affirmation of his leadership and the movement he represents.
We also think that inaugural costs are increasing. You have mentioned the threat environment that is different in this inauguration, even in previous inaugurations where there's always a high level of security. As you know, these are designated national special security events under the leadership of the United States Secret Service. We work hand in hand with the service to support the security of the event. Our expectation is even that the additional $3 million that we have requested is based on the costs that are coming in.
Safety concerns have dominated much of the conversation, with D.C. officials emphasizing the unique complexities of this inauguration. Yet for some, the most pressing issue isn't the logistics, but the political message. Democrats who have chosen to boycott the event argue that their absence reflects a broader resistance to Trump's presidency. However, their actions have sparked criticism from those who see the boycotts as divisive and counterproductive to fostering national unity.
Democrats, though, they're not excited about Trump. They're not excited about his inauguration. So they are planning an inauguration boycott with more than a dozen lawmakers planning to skip the president's inauguration. Meantime, Senator John Fetterman, becoming the lone voice of bipartisanship as the first Democrat senator to meet with Trump's defense secretary pick, Pete Hegseth. He tells Axios, quote, if Hegseth is going to be the head of one of the most important parts of our government, then do you think I'm doing a job by flipping anyone off and saying I'm not going to talk to him or just have a conversation? Jack Brewer is a former NFL player and the CEO of the Brewer Foundation, and he joins me now. Jack, don't senators have an obligation like John Fetterman to perform that all-important requirement of advising consent as they try to evaluate these nominees?
Of course they do, and he used the word reckless, and I think that's the exact terminology that we need to address this issue with these Democrats.
Meanwhile, the Republican Party faces its own internal struggles. Infighting among its members has fueled speculation about whether the inauguration could be delayed or disrupted. These divisions reveal deeper fractures within the party, raising questions about its ability to function cohesively. Nonetheless, many believe Trump's influence will ultimately unite the GOP, ensuring the event proceeds without significant setbacks.
The MAGAverse could be on the brink of exploding into an all-encompassing constitutional crisis with Donald Trump's inauguration as possible collateral damage. The incoming Congress is scheduled to start on January 3rd, but following a bruising pre-Christmas battle to keep the government open, Republican lawmakers, including President-elect Trump, have turned on Speaker Mike Johnson. Without a speaker, the House of Representatives could become paralyzed and unable to certify Trump's re-election victory, plunging the Capitol and the country into political chaos.
For Trump's supporters, this moment is less about the logistical hurdles and more about what the event represents. Jack Brewer captured this sentiment perfectly, likening Trump's leadership to that of a coach inspiring his team to perform at its best. The inauguration, for them, is a celebration of Trump's unwavering commitment to his vision for America and a rallying cry for the movement's continued momentum.
You're talking about having a leader that's going to make you want to go out there and play ball, going to go out there and defend the military, go out there and be on Team America, be on a team that wants to win. I mean, that's what President Trump is. President Trump is America's coach, and we want to get behind him. Look at how that crowd reacted to them. Think about our military men, how they feel having somebody that gets them ready for a game that wants to play.
Even with these challenges, many agree that Trump's stronghold over the GOP ensures the inauguration will go forward. The stakes are undeniably high, with political and constitutional implications hanging in the balance. The event is more than just a ceremony. It's a reflection of Trump's ability to lead amidst chaos and rally his supporters in the face of opposition.
And then finally, settling on a new speaker could take weeks, and the January 20th deadline is dangerously close. Political science professor Steve Smith of the Arizona State University, you hear what I did there? I did the Ohio State University thing. You know, they're not Ohio State University, they're the Ohio State University. And I just did that for Arizona State. Political science professor Steve Smith of Arizona State University told Roll Call that nobody has any idea what will happen if the House doesn't elect a speaker by then, because it has never happened. Quote, the country would be going into one big gray area, Professor Smith said. Well, let me tell you, whether Donald Trump gets inaugurated on the 20th or not, he is going to be the next president of the United States. And that in and of itself is one big gray area.
This uncertainty underscores the precarious balance of power in American politics, where even procedural delays can spark a constitutional crisis. The looming possibility of failing to elect a Speaker of the House in time adds to the tension, creating a scenario where the legitimacy of the inauguration process could be called into question. For Trump's supporters, however, these concerns are secondary to the belief that their leader's path to the presidency is unshakable. The narrative surrounding the January 20th inauguration, whether fraught with chaos or triumphant in overcoming obstacles, is set to be a defining moment in both Trump's legacy and the nation's political history. This saga surrounding Trump's inauguration has revealed much about the current state of American politics. From Mayor Bowser's extensive planning to the boycotts of Democratic lawmakers and even the intra-party strife within the GOP, it's clear that the stakes of this event go far beyond the ceremony itself. It's a moment that encapsulates the tensions, divisions, and resilience of the political landscape. As Jack Brewer noted, Trump's leadership continues to inspire loyalty and determination, even amidst uncertainty.
President Trump is America's coach, and we want to get behind him. Look at how that crowd reacted to them. Think about our military men, how they feel having somebody that gets them ready for a game that wants to play.
Ultimately, whether Trump's inauguration proceeds seamlessly or faces more hurdles, it's a moment that will be remembered for its profound implications. What do you think this event says about the future of American democracy and Trump's influence on the Republican Party? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.